Cheerio, cheerio, me fellow mates. Oh, hi along to finally control me brilliant I'll here it. Hold the hell. Oh my goodness, what happened here? Crusader Kings 3 happened, baby. Crusader Kings 3 is Paradox Interactive's newest installment in the Crusader Kings series. Once again, the player is able to time travel back into the time of knights, kings, and widespread dysentery. In Crusader Kings, you are burdened with the family's legacy to ascend onto the top of the European royalty. Or maybe just to bang your son. On the game's start, you are able to choose between two different historic starting dates and then either choose one of the suggested leaders or you choose one for yourself on the map, which once again stretches from the icy lands of Iceland to the outskirts of the high Tibetan highlands, but now reach much further south down to the Ivory Coast in the Niger Delta than before. After that, you try to make your family the most influential one in all of the known world. Or you maybe just try to murder everyone. Whatever you choose to make your playthrough though, be sure that Crusader Kings 3 always has a sharp turn left for you that can completely change all of your ambitions on the go. For instance, I tried to unify Austria on stream, but all of a sudden Pope Innocentus declared a crusade, which ended in me leaving Austria behind and living large as the Queen of England. And that RNG is what makes Crusader Kings so special. Whatever you have planned, be sure that the game has no problem throwing in a nice succession crisis in for you if you don't behave. Crusader Kings 3's core mechanics stay true to its predecessors, but expand on them in new and innovative ways. Whereas marriage and diplomacy make up a huge part of the Crusader Kings experience, new functions have made them even more important now. Some new additions for Crusader Kings 3 now make it impossible to just ignore the intrigue tab as I did in Crusader Kings 2. Good diplomatic relations, for instance, now go hand in hand with the proper spy master, as the newest way to improve such relations is through the intrigue mechanic Sway, which, like all schemes now, has multiple stages to progress through, with player-specific decisions that influence the final result of your scheming ventures. Another new mechanic is Dynasties, which now differ from the royal houses of Crusader Kings 2 and offer new and exciting gameplay options with a new metric, the Renown, which can best be described as your family's generation-spanning prestige, as it is not character-specific but rather cross-generational, with which you can now unlock legacies, dynastic traits, which every future member of your family will inherit. Another major change from Crusader Kings 2 to 3 the Paradox made is that the game is now less about you and more about the character you are burdened with, which manifests itself in the lifestyle and its focuses, which are similar to the focuses from Crusader Kings 2, but differ vastly as they now incorporate 3 different skill trees for each lifestyle, as well as changes in one's stress depending on you choosing the right lifestyle for your character's personality. Warfare has, in my view, changed the least from Crusader Kings 2 to here, with the exception of some quality of life improvements like a big button to raise your troops whenever you join an armed conflict or things like that. Another quality of life improvement that is also worth mentioning is a permanent tab on the upper side of the screen that always informs you about the most important happenings like an imperial election or tactical notifications when you are high up in another domain's line of succession, for instance. Crusader Kings 3 is gorgeous. Look at the land, look at that character, that shit is even throwing a shadow. Whereas Crusader Kings 2 has a mostly featureless map without much detail put into river deltas or mountain ranges due to the 2012 hardware restrictions, Crusader Kings 3 throws you its graphics extravaganza into your face wherever it can. The game's map is no longer a PNG lying around in like a black void, but rather a hand-drawn map of the known world perfectly suited for every explorer's navigation needs, on a rustically looking wooden table decorated with ships and mystical sea creatures just like maps from the late Middle Ages actually were, with the added bonus of a seamless transition between a beautiful paper map and a 3D landscape on which all buildings from castles to cities, even to monuments like the pyramids or the Hagia Sophia are placed on. The biggest jump from CK2 to Crusader Kings 3 must have made the characters though, which went from a plain 2D depiction of people to full-blown realistic 3D models with a believable depth, and in special interactions with them even with proper animations, which even sets them apart from Imperator Rome's new character mechanics, which created a 3D model but only used a screenshot of it in any given window. What CK3's character modeling also improves on is the boldness and the recycling known from Imperator Rome, which for instance only has like a handful of children to pick from apparently. Crusader Kings 3's AI is sleek and modern with an old rustic touch to it. The trade icons are in comparison to CK2 quite a bit larger and much higher resolution. They look gorgeous, which makes them intriguing to look at and much more distinguishable from one another. I will lose so much lifetime in this game. Crusader Kings 3 has gotten me hooked. Even only after 7 hours of gameplay, my thoughts cycle around how the next great move could be, what people I'd very much like to, well, disappear, and what the future of this game might hold for itself. As the very historically interested person that I claim myself to be, I have to praise Crusader Kings with how great it is in capturing the political nature of the Middle Ages, since in that time a state wasn't a place in a specific region, occupied by certain people, but much rather a personal domain of a very powerful ruler, and that essence is what Crusader Kings perfectly encapsulates, but not making it seem like interactions between countries and institutions like Europa Universalis 4 does, but between people, which captures the feudal system's inner workings best, I believe. A minor critique point I have with the game though, which I have with all Crusader Kings games to be fair, is that one can get very easily overwhelmed by literally everything happening at once sometimes, or random scenarios like a Gavel-kind succession threatening everything you've built up to this point, without giving you any idea on how to prevent them from happening. From my own experience though, I can say, killing off all male heirs might not have been the best idea. Besides that though, I think that Crusader Kings 3 is a must-have for all fans of the grand strategy genre, and definitely the perfect opportunity to enter the Crusader Kings world for all who felt overwhelmed by the sheer mass and inaccessibility of late Crusader Kings 2. If you enjoyed this video, why not like and subscribe, and also feel free to join our Discord channel to always be notified when new CK3 content comes out. Have you already subscribed? It's down there.